Wow. Is that gonna work? I hope. Well, well, I just made a video at school to send in to a company to be able to participate in the New York City Marathon. It's for teachers. I mean, this group. And you never know what to say in something like that, because you don't want to come across like you want to do something too bad. You want to be part of what they're looking for. But I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know if they're looking for people who are already runners, who want to do something different, or if they're looking for people who've never run before, who, want to bring this into their classroom. I don't even know. All I know is that I want to be part of it. And that it's a science-based organization, and I do a ton of science in my classroom. So anyway, today's vacation day. We have a week off of school, and I'm going home from my classroom right now because that's where I can get work done. It's nice and quiet. So I'm driving home right now, and I had to plan science for the rest of the school year, which I did. It's not prepared, but it's planned, which, preparation is not going to take as long as planning it. So I planned that for the next 2 months. February's only 1 more week, so we've got March and April. And then we have a bunch of testing. But testing, a month like with testing is a great time to do science. Really great time to do science. Because it's you can do all sorts of fun things, and it all aligns with curriculum, no matter what you do. You can figure out a way for it to align with curriculum. So science is really great for me. So we have to kind of put aside our curriculum for math and English language arts. We use science to do both of those things, right? It's the beauty of science. Anyway, so that's my plan. Wow, I was in this road. Anyway, it is February 17th, Tuesday, and goodness sakes, we're just about to head into our next middle of our trimester of report cards. I've had a student teacher. I haven't done a vlog in a very long time, so I don't even know if this is going to go up today, but I'd love it to. I was a student teacher, and I didn't realize or remember how much work it is to have a student teacher. And not that she's work, because she's wonderful. I just have to make sure that I've got all my work done. I can't really show up to work and not have everything ready to go, which I generally do anyway, but I want to provide a good example for her. So I've got that going on, which is just perfectly fine. So when we get back, I've got this fun thing I got it from Teachers Pay Teachers, but it's another lockbox activity. Again, there's so much fun to do. It's for math. But the thing about it is, here's a tricky thing. It's a Valentine sort of lockbox thing, and it's fractions. Now here's where it gets tricky. If we're not there yet with fractions, and it's already Valentine's Day, how do you incorporate that? You just do. So we're not into, we're only using like denominators right now. And I haven't even used the word denominators. I just call it the bottom number, which tells us how much we have altogether. And keep the kids away from changing that bottom number at all right now, and knowing that that's not something we add together. That means the same thing. That's like the kind of car we're driving, right? I used several examples with the kids, but we changed that number at the top a lot. And this is what was interesting to me, and this is where it shows up that kids have had experience via parents or older brothers and sisters. They get upset when that bigger number, the numerator, is bigger than the denominator. Oh, you can't do that. It's anarchy. You can't do that. So it's improper fraction. And I say, a what? Improper fraction. Don't you know what that is? Oh, I've heard about those. Anyway, so we have 5/3 here. Anyone else have anything else? Did they want to explain what we have? And someone always says 1 2/3. 1 2/3. And then I have to explain that too. That okay, but it's 5/3. At the end of the day, that's 5/3. And to go over the fact that conceptually, that's what we're working with. And I really do hold the kids back a little bit with that. Not hold them back. That's not the right word. Hold them off with going beyond that with some of the other kiddos who are still getting it. Because honestly, those kids that can say 5/3 is 1 2/3, I'm not convinced they really know what they're talking about. So I really handle fractions on a number line, and that's the only way I've really been successful teaching fractions over the last 10 years is using a number line. And, you know, lo and behold, 2 or 3 years ago, it became this big deal. Well, I've been doing it for a long time on a number line. Not to say that I'm anything important, but I'm just saying that it's been effective for a long time like that with me. And I'll get kids sometimes midway through the school year, not very often, but who've learned it a different way, who learned it with a circle graph or the pi or whatever. And that's so challenging to get them to flip their thinking over. Because, you know, honestly, when you make a pie, you can't all cut those pieces evenly. It's a bad example. And a pie is finite. You run out of pie. But you don't run out of a number line. And you can use your fingers, space them, to make sure your spaces are all the same size. So a number line is the way to go when it comes to fractions. What's really neat is if you can get kids to start counting, and when they get to, you know, 21 thirds, you can say, hey, who knows what whole number this might be? It's 7. And that's the cool part. You can go that far with it and they go, oh, that's 7. Well, if we know that, where would 10 be? Oh, it's gonna be it. Where would 10 be? 10. 70. I don't know. It's kind of cool that they can do what, 30. 30. There. Anyway, 30. That's 30 tenths. Anyway, I don't know. I love the fact that we can learn things conceptually. So that's what I'm doing when we get back from the break. I'm going to be really focusing on that and kind of delving more into that number sense, and then we'll move into area and perimeter after that. Kind of going back to multiplication. But we wait to do area and perimeter to the end because we really need kids to have a command of their math facts. Because we can't have them spending a whole bunch of time trying to figure out what 5 times 3 is, or for that matter, any of the square numbers. Very, very first world problems, I think. Third grade first world problems. Anyway, today I'm driving myself home. It's about noon, and I've got the rest of the week. My husband wants to go up to Grey Eagle, which is a place up in near Truckee. It's about an hour out of Truckee. We have a place up there we go to, but it's kind of boring for me. My husband likes to golf and all that, and I can only run so much. But I have a couple books I'm trying to finish, so we'll do that. I'm trying to stay away from watching too much television, frankly, but oh god, I'm really reading right now the Chris Farley Show. Oh my god, it's so good. His brother and another author wrote it together, because I don't think his brother's a writer, but it's just a really great testament of who Chris Farley was, you know, beyond what we saw on television. And of course, just a really good human being, and lost his way. And so it's neat to see the fact that his story can really benefit other people. I know I don't drink because I can't. I don't do well with that sort of thing. So I can understand to a certain extent how that can get away from you. I didn't ever do those hard drugs like he did that killed him, but I tell you, I certainly understand being stuck in something that you can't get out of, and he just never found his way out, poor guy. So anyway, I'm reading the Chris Farley story. Oh, the Chris Farley Show, that's what it's called. He had a skit on Saturday Night Live called the Chris Farley Show, so that's where they get the title. I'm also reading a book for a workbook, book for work, and it's just about the name right now. It's helping your students with dyslexia learn how to decode better, and it's this new program we're trying to do. So I'm kind of limping through that, but I'm trying to read that too. And then the third book. The third book is Love Your Life, Not Theirs, and that's by Rachel Cruz, Dave Ramsey's daughter. I don't know, she probably doesn't like being called that, but she's great. I love her for principles, even though I'm not an evangelical Republican, which she and her family are. Their principles are kind of biblical when it comes to money. I am a fiscal human being, Democrat, and I love having a good understanding of finances and money and not being in debt. So I love that books like that. Love Your Life, Not Theirs. Just about really, you know, having the things that you want and wanting what you have, and not looking at Facebook to see who's going to Hawaii next week while you're working. We can all learn a lot from that. Anyway, I'm jabbering. My husband calls it jabbering. So here's the plan. I'm going to be using the rest of this week to kind of get caught up here. I will be getting back at you guys when I am home tonight. I've got to figure out what's going on with my computer and being able to download videos. I think I just need to sit down with somebody who knows this well, because I end up filling up my computer with video material, and then I can't figure out how to post it. So that's why it takes me so long to post videos to this web page, to this channel, Heidi's channel. I'm teaching as fast as I can. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Wow. So today is Wednesday, the 19th, February 19th, on vacation. And I wanted to add to my my post right now that I'm gonna try to upload this today. I read something today on a group I belong to on Facebook for third grade teachers. I don't know, it's called some GAB group, third grade GAB group, something like that. Anyway, and the teacher had written in to say she's had it. She's on leave of absence right now, and she just doesn't know she's going to go back. And it got me thinking about the last time I had a day like that, which is, I can't remember. I literally can't remember. What I can recall-ish are moments where I didn't feel like what I was doing was making a difference. With you know, my day-to-day things. Not overall, though. So what makes me want to teach every day? What makes me want to go back to the classroom every day? And it's like waking up, right? And maybe there's a deeper narrative here with this particular teacher. Or it wasn't just her, though, because there were other comments being made. I think that it takes a special teacher or a special person to work with certain populations. And the gist of what she was saying, which is brief, was that she was not supported, and that she was not doing enough teaching, but managing more. So there's a few layers to this, right? Number one, how long have you been teaching? First of all, that'd be my first question. How long have you been doing this? The second one would be, not so much where you're teaching, is that, well, what's your district's philosophy? What's their message? What's their overriding, what's the word? I'm not getting the right words here. Let me put it this way. I feel like I'm in the opposite position, and if I'm not feeling or what I'm doing isn't working, isn't showing up every day, I have to stop and evaluate. If management's the problem, look at your lesson planning, because you embed management into your lessons. What does that mean? That means, to me at least, that when you're differentiating curriculum to meet the needs of your learners, say that 3 times fast, when you can do that and you can reach kids, your behaviors that you need to manage sort of end up managing themselves. At least that's what I've learned over the last 26 years of this business. That my kids that are finished with their work or have not felt challenged by a lesson, they know what to do next. They know not to try to get my attention by other means. They have something else that they feel purposeful about and have something meaningful to do. Or they're choosing to read something they want to read until it's time for us to move on to the next thing. Those students that struggle, those are, to me, almost the easier problem than the ones who don't need my help for other things. So what are we doing for those kids? Well, you're looking at what makes them tick, first of all. But when you're planning your lessons last week for the lesson you're doing tomorrow, you've pulled in all the things you need to pull in, whether it's added help from a parent. If you don't have that, I totally get that. Or curriculum that's geared towards their needs, but opportunities for them to feel necessary. Necessary in the classroom, necessary to you, necessary to themselves. One of the things that happens with kids that know they're low, and they know they're low. Believe it or not, you can dress up their groups all you want. You can call a school an academy all you want, but at the end of the day, kids are pretty savvy about where they stand. So those kids will find each other. Maybe not in 3rd grade, but they will in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grades. They'll find each other. And they'll decide that they're dumbasses together, and they're going to make it really difficult for anyone who comes in their way. So what do you do about that? Well, again, you make what they do important to them, but you know what you can also do? You can make them a hero to their peers. And there's little things you can do to that. You know, if you do group points, you can tell the group, you know what Lionel just did? Let's call him Lionel. I don't have any Lionels. He just earned your group 5 points for whatever, you know, and it can't be something stupid like breathing. But you know what I'm saying? You include that kid into what we're doing, because then the class wants him to succeed. And the class doesn't want him to be a pain in the ass, or her. I guess I feel for this teacher. I do. I think I've thought about you all day out there. And I want you to continue to teach. But if that's not what you want to do, you shouldn't be beating your head against a wall. But you also shouldn't be in a position where you feel helpless. Like there's nothing you can do to change it. There's something you can do every moment of every day to change your situation. Every moment of every day. It's interesting that we're in the business of teaching and changing kids', you know, minds and behaviors and things, when in fact we don't bother to think about our own, right? I mean, we can change our minds at any second. And I was explaining that to the kids the other day. We were talking about point of view. And I said, you know, if you were having a disagreement with somebody and they came at you with something, I don't know what it is, and they said, yeah, but you said this. And you could say, just as easy as that, yeah, but you know what? Change my mind. And there's nothing that anyone can say to that. Yeah, change my mind. So if you're in a teaching position that isn't working for you, change something. Change your mind. Change your mind to not work there. Take a leave of absence like you did, but continue to pursue a position that fits you. And if that doesn't happen, change the way you approach things. You're not helpless and you're not stuck. Because I know I've been there, and I've had to do this self-talk to myself to realize, wait a minute. At some point, I chose everything I've got right now. That includes this job, this outfit, this husband, this life. And, you know, this sounds kind of trite, but the truth and matter of truth in life is that you make up your mind to be about as happy as you want to be. And I choose to be happy. I choose to do whatever it takes for me every day to find joy in what I do. And sometimes that's a real challenge, but you know, that's why I love what I do. There's my rant for the afternoon. Anyway, I've got another 3 or 4 days of vacation here, and guess what? I'll probably spend a couple of them in the classroom, but it's because I want to. I'm going in the house now, and I will talk to you guys later.